Fala aí rapaziada, como é que vocês estão? Eu espero de coração que todos vocês estejam bem e meus amigos, estamos começando mais um vídeo no canal. Cbum responde sobre Ramon em recente entrevista na mídia internacional. Ele que também apareceu enorme em recente vídeo de treino em seu canal e está treinando muito bem rumo ao Mr. Olímpia. Ruff atualiza no peitoral melhor lado e parece estar mantendo boa parte do volume muscular que ganhou no off-season. Atitude do Felipe Franco revelada por Edvan viraliza em postagem no nosso Instagram. Rapaziada, e antes de partir para os temas de hoje, nós temos um recado para vocês. Mais de 50% das pessoas que assistem o nosso canal ainda não são inscritas. Então, se você assiste os nossos vídeos e tem uma conta no YouTube e quer fortalecer o nosso trabalho, se inscreve aí que nos ajuda demais. E fortalece no like. Dito isso, bora começar os temas de hoje.
Amigos, e bora começar o vídeo de hoje falando sobre esse post que nós fizemos em nosso Instagram, onde deixamos um trecho de uma recente participação do Edvan no Mostra, onde ele expõe uma atitude muito legal do Felipe Franco. O FF, após receber o cheque de 60 mil reais da Ruff pela sua classificação para o Mr. Olímpia no Portugal Pro do ano passado, não ficou com o dinheiro e dividiu esses 60 mil reais para atletas de potencial, entre eles o Edvan, que ganhou 7 mil reais do FF. No vídeo, eles comentam que o Franco nem chegou a postar essa atitude e que fez realmente de coração e não por hype. E o nosso post sobre isso viralizou, geral elogiando muito esta atitude do FF. O Edvan diz que nunca tinha falado sobre isso, mas que tinha que agradecer publicamente o Franco por aquilo e por isso falou sobre isso no podcast após tanto tempo. Tá aí, rapaziada, que atitude legal do FF.
Rapaziada, mudando de assunto e agora indo para a categoria Classic Physique, vamos falar sobre Ruff e Cbum, os dois melhores Classic Physiques do mundo. Começando por Ruff, ele que ontem postou uma foto em seus stories mandando um peitoral melhor lado e aparentemente estamos vendo, um Ruff maior do que nós estávamos acostumados a ver em outras preparações. Ele que fez um off pesado após o Arnold de Ohio e comentou que nunca tinha começado um pré-contest tão pesado quanto dessa vez, ou seja, tudo indica aí que veremos o Ruff um pouco maior no Mr. Olímpia esse ano. Será que isso será suficiente para segurar o ímpeto de jovens atletas como Ramon e Urs, que estão vindo com sede de vitória para esse Olímpia? Agora falando sobre o Cbum, a fera voltou a aparecer em um vídeo lá no seu canal no YouTube, mostrando um treinão de ombros da sua preparação para o Olímpia 2022. O Cbum tá enorme, meus amigos, e vale lembrar que ele também já iniciou seu pré-contest para o Olímpia, então a partir de agora nós veremos ele cada vez mais seco nos vídeos. O Cbum nessa preparação martelou muito principalmente os seus braços e ombros e quer trazer em dezembro uma versão aí que supere todas as outras versões que ele já apresentou em Olímpias passados, para alcançar o quarto título e se isolar ainda mais como o maior campeão da categoria em Olímpias. Em sua opinião sincera, vocês acham que o Cbum vence o Olímpia 2022 ou acreditam que alguém pode superar o tricampeão ainda esse ano? Comentem aí e bora continuar os temas de hoje.
Ainda sobre o Cbum, recentemente o atleta deu uma entrevista para o canal MUSCULAR e respondeu sobre vários assuntos. Em determinado momento, o entrevistador perguntou se a chegada do Urs e do Ramon no Olímpia do ano passado surpreendeu o Cbum. Afinal, eles nunca tinham competido em Olímpias e do nada chegaram sendo top 4 e top 5 do mundo. O Cbum respondeu sobre isso e também comentou um pouco sobre Ruff e Confiram aí o trecho com a legenda automática do YouTube, replicado pelo nosso colega do canal Sangue Marombeiro, hoje mais cedo.
Were you surprised at how well the rookies did last year? I'm thinking especially of Urs and Ramon, because 5 months before that Olympia, I never heard of these guys, ever. Had no idea who they were. And then, I don't know if you had been known of them either prior to a few months before the Olympia, and then boom, they're both in the top 5.
I mean, I guess surprise is a word you could use. I didn't know, like you, I didn't know who they were really going in. I really keep in my own lane a lot lately, and it keeps my head right in terms of like staying on track of what I need to do for myself. So I didn't even really know who they were coming in either. But like knowing them now, it doesn't surprise me at all. They're both great athletes and good people and work really hard and crazy genetics. And the beauty of classic physique is that anybody can kind of come in out of nowhere because the weight cap is there's a weight cap. So like, it's not like you're an open guy where it takes like 10 years to get to 300 pounds and you see yourself coming up. It's like you could, have a great off season. Like look at the change I did from 2018 to 2020. Someone does that, you go from amateur pro card to the Olympia in a year, which also how I got there so quick. So it's a division that's exciting where like it could happen again this year. Someone could come out of nowhere and replace those two. They came out of nowhere last year. So I think it makes the division very exciting. It surprised me, but I don't think that's going to happen. They're both great athletes and I know they've improved. I think they're going to be pushing it for a while, but it's just, I think it's something that makes this division exciting is that people can come out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, are there almost like 50 guys qualified for the Olympia now in your division?
I heard that. Yeah. I just heard that somewhere and I'm like, it's going to be a long night or day, whatever.
Yeah, if you win a show, they have to let you in, I think. I don't think they can say, nah, you can't. There's too many guys. You're not that good. They're going to have to let everybody, they got to let them all compete. So
yeah,
it's going to be a long.
I like the idea of putting a cap on that. Yes. And I mean, business side of things too. It costs a lot of money for them to fly people in, to pay for their hotel. Like they pay for us, the athletes, to come. So if they're paying for 500 people instead of 100, it's a lot more money for them to spend, which could be going back into promotion or paying the athlete even or anything. So I think, and it also makes it more exclusive and elite, like if only 15 people get it to Olympia, it's more impressive and harder to do.
Yeah. So next question here is for the Ruff Diesel fans out there, because, I got to keep everybody happy. So he's been runner-up to you twice in a row now. And a lot of people say, well, he probably can never win because the gold standard that they want is this tall guy with a wide frame. And that's you basically, you're the standard bearer for the division. And Terrence has got a phenomenal physique, but he is significantly shorter than you, significantly less wide than you. If you were a judge, I mean, and it's hard to put yourself in those shoes, I know, but when you're looking at different physiques, classic, I think, is a lot harder to judge because you have so many different physiques. What would your criteria be?
Like, how would I judge?
Yeah.
Olympia? I mean, if I was judging Olympia, I'd probably make myself win, but I'm a little biased. But I mean, no, Terrence has obviously proven himself. Everyone he beats is taller than him. I think he's the shortest guy in the lineup. So to say that he's not winning because he's short, I don't think maybe it adds into it for sure. But I mean, he's beating everyone else who's taller than him. So it's not the only factor, of course. There's a lot more that comes into it. Terrence is an awesome athlete. I think anyone every year has a chance to win. If I choose to slip or if I don't come in, they come in great, like possibility. But I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I mean, at your level, you guys don't slip up typically. That's why you are where you are. Back to the one thing I want to ask you about was the weight limits, because a lot of these guys in classic, they're always pushing to have the weight limits raised. They want to bump and increase. It's already been raised twice since the division began. I think it was a 5 pound, and another 5 pound. Do you think it needs to be raised higher? I mean, there's all these guys that say, well, I have to come in at 180. I'd look so much better if I could be like 187. But what do you say when these guys are always asking for bumps and increases in the weight?
I don't really get involved with any of that stuff. I don't really pay attention. I didn't even know a lot of people were saying that, honestly. Yeah. But I mean, again, my biased opinion is like, it's been working for me now. So why would I want to change it? I fit in mine just perfectly and that benefits me. But I mean, I don't think a weight cap is really going to change too much. I think they want to keep the look as it is. And maybe one day they'll get rid of it completely. And once the look is really established, but I do worry if that happens, it's just going to start pushing the limits of size again. Like, it happens in every division. Like Figure now compared to Nicole Wilkins, or bikini now compared to even my girlfriend, Courtney King, back in the day has changed. And that's only like 5-6 years or whatever. So like, it's always people are always going to push the limits unless there's a restraint. So I think it's kind of helping right now, but I'm not to say where it's going to go after that.
I mean, look at the men's physique guys.
Yeah, the men's physique guys are huge.
Some of them look like open bodybuilders.
Literally, yeah.
Another aspect to it is before you were a champion, I don't think people weren't that critical of you because only once you get to the top, now they're, these are his flaws, and I don't like this and that, or I'm coming after him, and then you hear like this guy's. They compare people to you, like Urs, they compared you, and there's a Brazilian guy I just heard they called the Brazilian Bumstead. I mean, it's got to be challenging in a way to have so many people talking about you all the time. And I'm sure you don't hear a lot of it because you're not like on social media trying to find out all the shit talking about you, but just knowing that as the champion, people are talking about you all the time, both good and bad. How do you deal with that?
I mean, I've definitely had some concrete physical things to help, like muting people on social media, not spending time on YouTube. I don't really watch like news reviews or like people talking about stuff because it doesn't matter. What someone says good or bad about me, it doesn't matter. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't know who I am. So it doesn't really benefit me. So I've definitely tried to take that. But of course, it's still going to get into my mind. I'm human and some stuff can make me like, oh, fuck, like think now this and that. But it's all part of the game. And I think I've learned to master it pretty well. And, new guys coming in, they're comparing me to them, and then it's exciting, like I still have like, it's me against me up there, but of course I still want to make it look like it's just me against me because no one else is even comparable because they're not good enough to even be beside me. That's my ego wanting to be like absolute best up there. I want a perfect score every single year. So it's just balancing it, not getting involved in it. And like I said before, when you know who you are, it doesn't matter what other people are saying.
Yeah. So